I joined FIA Tech back in 2019. I operate reference data, but also our data bank operations, which was primarily focused on exchange fees and position limits. And so, we've been operating off of that for quite a while and reaching out to our clients and starting to understand more of the issues in the industry and the pain points around it. We've identified areas to expand our reference data offering. So primarily focused on the product itself and the life cycle. So what are the various different regulatory classifications? What do we call a product? What's the trading information around that product? The various different currencies, contract size, when that contract goes to delivery, and then what are all the things that happen to that contract, once it's listed to delisting. So you have pricing that's tagged onto it at the end of the day. You have various different cross-reference symbologies, and then you have exchange event management is what I call it. So corporate actions that happen to products, cash and collateral, so your acceptable collateral, the haircuts that are associated with it, the concentration limits, items like that. And then there's regulatory analysis that we've gotten into as well. So being able to classify various different indices according to regulatory requirements. So the SEC and the CFTC's 2009 jurisdiction, saying whether it's a narrow index or a broad index. So looking at various different areas that there's been gaps left in the industry by these legacy data providers. There's many different offerings. So there's the contract specification. So you have areas of firms that are in operations that just need to know the details around a contract, to understanding when a market opens, when it closes, the various different cutoff times that are associated with clearing the product, to operation teams that have to process corporate actions or input the static around cash and collateral. This comes back to the data bank network as a whole, right? It's really a group of collaborators in the industry, whether it's exchanges, CCPs, like I said, regulators, but the Symbology is focused on vendors like CQG, FIS, Trading Technologies, Refinitiv, Bloomberg. They all offer their various different symbols that are assigned to these products. So as you can probably see, it causes inefficiencies when we're speaking, ABC and someone else is speaking 1, 2, 3, and being able to translate those. So what we've done is created partnerships in the industry to bring in these various different symbologies and be able to tag it onto our services. So if you have a user that's signed up for position limits or exchange fees, but needs to see those products in Bloomberg terminology, we add those on, right? So it's kind of breaking that communication gap, which is a huge issue in the industry right now because front office and back office, there's already breaks there, and then let alone interacting with a counterparty where you have someone trading RIC symbols versus a Bloomberg symbol. So bringing everything back to that exchange code is very important. Right now we're focused on derivatives, so ETD, and dabbling a little bit into the OTC world sometime in the future. But we cover about 110 segment mix of about 80 exchanges globally that we're covering, and it's a little bit over 40 CCPs. FCMs, buy, sell side, we pretty much created a product that's not kind of siloed to just the clearing side, which is one of the bigger issues with the legacy data providers in the space is they've been more focused on the clearing side and ignoring that there's trading symbols that need to be out there. There's various different attributes that are required for placing a trade or trading a contract. So we've kind of opened the doors to change up the profile to look at both. We offer very competitive pricing. There is tier pricing when it comes to the buy side. From the sell side, when you're looking at more of an enterprise, we try to stay as cost efficient as possible. At the end of the day, my previous life coming from a bank, kind of looking at what it takes to make a business case, you really have to understand the weight of the operational inefficiencies and the capacity that's used and the effort over and over again. So it's within range of that 25 to 35,000 hours a year, which is on target with what we had for our existing data bank offerings. We partnered up with MSCI, FTSE, stocks, S&P in order to receive their indices and their constituents and weights that helped us with our foreign security future offering and the regulatory analysis around that. Fast forward to this year, we've partnered with a few ISVs. One of them is CQG that you may have read about to bring in those symbologies, and then exchanges and CCPs as I mentioned. Not looking at everyone as a competitor, but more as co-competitors working together to collaborate and really solve the industry issues. You know, a lot of this data is manually aggregated by the FCMs, so there's a lot of time wasted and capacity and effort wasted doing that. And what we're trying to do is standardize that, normalize it, and really just create a standard schema that they can tap into.